We've kind of had a motto we've been saying around here for the last couple months that if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. And we've gone with that because we need to be challenged. We need to be focused on challenging good players, challenging players that are young, challenging players that just got here. Because we got a lot of all those categories. I'm really proud of the off-season conditioning program. Coach Sinclair's done a tremendous job, and I think anytime you talk to strength coaches, they'll always tell you how much gains they made. And you're like, well, if you're always making gains, when do you ever have a down off-season? But it was nice for us. I think for the first time, we went from 32 guys that could bench press over 300 pounds to 34. So we're 2 higher than we were this time last year. Power clean, same way, from 30 guys to 32 guys that could power clean over a certain amount. And then also the same thing with squats. So we've had a lot of increases in our strength program. We've got 14 mid-year enrollees, which is extremely unique for me. I don't know that I've ever been part of a program that had 14 mid-year enrollees. Unfortunately, a couple of those guys are unable to go through spring ball with injuries. But the all-season conditioning program was great. We had really good energy, and now we're kind of moving to that phase of spring practice. And I know the players are so excited to get out there and go practice because there's only so much you can do in the weight room and in conditioning and in walkthroughs before you're ready to go play with the football. And that's what these guys love to do. So I don't think you ever know exactly what you want to do. You're always being prepared as a coach. You know guys get opportunities. I've known for quite a while that Mel Tucker was going to do a tremendous job as a head coach. I mean, he was a guy that I was able to lean on, especially early in this process. I think first I'd say congratulations to Mel and Jim, but also thank them for what they help us build thus far. They're both tremendous assets. They were really great guys, great team players, and bought into the whole organization. So, but when it comes to Dan, Glenn, sharing that responsibility with Dan being the coordinator, and then Coley, who's been a coordinator, and I've known James Coley for a long time, got a lot of respect for him. You know, he worked with Jimbo for a long time, had an opportunity to go with Jimbo the year before. So, and really, at the end of the day, when you have coordinators on offense and you have 2 guys that are doing it like Jim and James did, they shared a lot of that responsibility, and a lot of that responsibility will be passed down now with Dale and Cortez being involved. And I've had a lot of confidence in Dan and Glenn even last year. You know, not everybody knows what goes on behind the scenes, and I think that's okay that not everybody knows that. But as a head coach, you're in all these meetings, you're in all these decisions. You know how much involved Dan Lanning and Glenn Schumann are in the game planning process. Mel will tell you he leans on those guys heavily, so I have a lot of confidence in those 2 guys, which is why they've been hired. As far as opening with a really good, talented Vanderbilt team, I think it gives you that ability to have the first game of the year mean something, to be excited about it, to say, okay, we're going to go out here and get to play an SEC opponent. It gives your off season, especially your last 2-3 weeks of camp, a lot more excitement. And then obviously the 2 home games we're excited about. We love home and homes. That's something that we want to be able to do, is bring great programs to Athens and have games played here in Athens, which are important to me and scheduling.